Welcome to the Amazingly Alcohol-Free Mother and Daughter podcast. I'm Jamie.
And I'm Jules.
And we're here to share our honest and unfiltered experience of how alcohol has impacted both of our lives and our relationship, and to show you that change is absolutely possible. Our whole lives, my mom, Jules, has always said, we can do anything because we're girls. And now we're not just saying it, we're actually living it every single freaking day. We believe in progress over perfection, and we are proof that we can do hard and often uncomfortable things. Before we jump into today's episode, I want to invite you to join my weekly newsletter. Every week, I share mindset shifts, tools that actually help, and how I navigate the ups and downs of life alcohol-free. You'll also get early access to new offers, programs, and events before anyone else. You can sign up using the link in the show notes or at amazinglyalcoholfree.com. Okay, let's dive in. Hello and welcome. Today I'm joined by Isabel Izzy van Zuilen, founder of Sobertopia. Izzy is originally from Amsterdam, now living in San Francisco, California, one of my favorite cities. Izzy lives with her lovely husband, awesome daughter, 2 cats, and a brand new puppy. You have a very full house, Izzy. And Izzy began her alcohol-free journey in May 2019, diving headfirst into the world of sobriety, sampling every alcohol-free bubbly she could find, and traveling the world to attend fun, inspiring sober events. In 2021, Izzy began organizing sober retreats for women, followed by local alcohol-free events in San Francisco in 2024. This year, she founded Sobertopia HQ, a community where like-minded women can connect, grow, and thrive on their alcohol-free journey. Izzy's mission is to make alcohol-free living feel connected, empowering, and anything but lonely. I love your bio so much, Izzy, and welcome. I'm so happy to have you on the podcast. How are you today?
Here, I'm good, thank you. Happy, what is it, Tuesday?
Yes, it's Tuesday. It's almost the end of February. It's almost the beginning of the March. And time is flying. But I'm so happy you're here because Izzy and I met in Orlando last month in January, which, like you said, you love doing sober events, and that's where I met you. And then I asked you to come on. And so I just love this community that we have of just women supporting women and finding these connections we never would have found if we were still drinking, right? Isn't it just incredible?
Remarkable, yes. I met so many people, like some of them online, some of them in person on events, but it's like, yeah, woof, a whole world out there, isn't it? Alcohol-free is growing.
It is. It's getting bigger and bigger because when I quit drinking in 2022, there was sober Instagram and everything, but it felt much smaller. And now it's just huge. I mean, it's just changed dramatically. And I just think it's absolutely incredible. And I just love it. And I love what you're doing. And I can't wait to hear more about it. So cool. So cool, Izzy. We did talk last month in Orlando, but I didn't get a good chance to hear about your story. So I would love to just hear how it all started and then obviously get into Sobertopia, which just sounds like a beautiful community that you built. I want to fly down to San Francisco one of these days and join you for an event. Yeah, yes. But I would just love to hear how it all started. Yeah.
Well, I'll try to keep it shortish, but I started drinking when I was 15, I think like many of us. Or at least I'm from Amsterdam, born and raised. So when I was 15, I started we had these wild hockey parties, like field hockey parties and school parties. And drinking was kind of like normal in Amsterdam at a young age. I don't know, there was, I can't remember any laws coming in way later about minimum age. So there was a lot of drinking, but only like party drinking, you know what I mean? It wasn't like every week yet or whatever, but started in high school, loved it right from the start. Immediately got drunk every time right from the start. So binging was kind of my middle name. Then I went into university, same thing, but more often. The whole weekend was all about drinking. Friday and Saturday was always going out completely all the way. And Sunday was for recovering. Oh my gosh. But when you were young, you can kind of handle it, right? Mm-hmm. But I kept doing this. At some points, I would realize that I had kind of an issue with alcohol. So I think it was beginning 20s, I think, that I realized like, this isn't like normal what I'm doing. I was literally always the last one going home. A lot of like, how can I say this without saying too much? Wild adventures at night, waking up like, okay, hello, good morning.
Yeah, same.
all that stuff, right? So yeah, that's not. I kind of wanted to kind of get control over my drinking, so I went into Jelinek, which is like an out of how do you say? Not rehab, but out of like
Outpatient?
outpatient. Yes, we would meet
Yeah.
once a week or once a week. I think it was, or once every 2 weeks. I had a diary, write down everything I would drink and why and how I was feeling before I would drink. And I did that for a little bit, and it was so boring. And I was so young. I was like, "Fuck this! I'm going back to drinking." So that was short. But imagine that this was like almost 30 years ago that I already knew I had an issue.
Yeah.
So, rest of university, happy drinking. It was always like going out. I would never drink at home. I had no desire to. I mean, I've never had alcohol in the house. It was always partying and holidays and girls' trips and all that stuff.
Mhm.
So it was totally socially acceptable, right? I mean, nobody had like, "Ooh, Izzy, she must have a problem." No, everybody
Yeah.
was just like, "Oh, she likes to drink. Yay, party, whatever." Then I left Holland at some point in 2006. I decided new adventure, yay! So I had stopped doing what I was doing. I was a dealer, like a blackjack, roulette,
Oh,
poker, and
wow.
for like 7 or 8 years. So that was kind of boring after a while. In the beginning, it was all very exciting, but well, it was the nightlife as well. You know, I worked usually from 7 in the evening till 3 a.m. And then we would go for drinks. And then, well, it's the whole thing.
Mhm.
I was tired of it. Plus, my mom was an alcoholic, and my relationship with her was very difficult.
Yeah.
I felt like at some point. So I left Holland, found a new job, poker manager online in Gibraltar, Spain. Went there completely single, free, because I didn't have any pets or kids or partners, whatever. So I went there all free. Within 2 weeks, I met my husband, my current husband.
Oh.
Still happily married, so that was for a reason, clearly.
Mhm.
But the interesting thing is, I moved there in 2006 from Amsterdam to Spain. And the first 3 months, I decided I'm not going to drink a sip of alcohol because I don't want to make any stupid decisions right on the bat because you're
Yeah.
new. I don't want to hang out with a certain crowds that I don't really want to hang out with. So for three
Yeah.
months, I didn't drink.
Wow.
So again, this is like 20 years ago. I was super into the sobriety thing already. Did it for 3 months, met my husband, kissed. He was completely hammered. I was completely sober. Kissed for the first time on the street. I can still remember it. That was pretty
What?
cool. I can remember everything from.
Yes. 'Cause
Anyway, had a great 3 months, and then I started drinking again, and we partied hard together. We played poker all night long in dodgy clubs on the Spanish coast. It was very exciting. It was very fun. We both like to gamble and play poker and all that. So that was a really nice period. But again, the hangovers were just awful.
Mhm.
I never like had to call in sick for work or something, but I did like do ridiculous things on Christmas parties at work. Like, oh my God, so embarrassing. Like all that stuff. So I still had the same issue. I was binging too hard. Then I got pregnant. And
Oh.
we moved from Spain to Malta when I was like 8 months pregnant. Obviously, I didn't drink at
Yeah.
all when I was pregnant. That was no problem. I could easily stop for a
Mhm.
while. Always. I've always done that. Like a year here, 8 months
Okay.
there. Then I was like, oh, I'm not that bad. And life is boring without alcohol. I go back. Started drinking again. So anyway, pregnant, didn't drink for 9 months. And then there, oh my gosh. So I went to a prenatal yoga class, prenatal swimming class, met these awesome ladies. So we had a really like a really close group of women. Like I think we were at 5, 6 of us, and our
Yeah.
babies were all born in around the same 3 months. So we had like we met
Yeah.
up almost every day. We were each other's family. We were all expats in Malta.
Cool.
So what we would do is just go to one of our houses, babies crawling over the floor, and we were sipping kava and wine or no tomorrow. So mommy wine culture did that too.
Yeah.
Then I was still thinking, I was getting really depressed after the with the hangovers. I was just like really, really down. I was like, this
Yeah.
is not normal. I really should stop. So
Yeah.
anyway, 5 years in Malta, we moved back to Spain. Met an incredible group of friends there, completely different, but all again, it was like really. We were we moved into this little urbanization, like 6 houses, swimming pool in the middle, 6 houses.
Yeah.
Out of the 12 houses, there were our family, so me, my husband, our daughter, and then we met 3 other families in the same urbanization, and we completely hit it off. Husbands became best friends, wives became best friends, kids
Oh.
became. It was amazing. A lot of drinking though.
Yeah.
Then I was like, I need to stop because it makes me I got really depressed from it.
Yeah.
And that was really hard because all my friends and all our friends were drinking
Yeah.
all the fucking time. So I had a difficult time there. But then I went on Instagram. And Instagram, oh my God, it was like there's a whole community out there that doesn't drink alcohol. I'm not the only one. So that was in 2019. I
Okay.
stopped drinking. Like, I was like, I have to stop. If I can't do it myself, I'm going to find rehab or professional help because I'm fed up. I tried like literally hundreds of times.
Mhm.
And then, but I gave myself one out. I said to myself, I can only drink in airplanes or airports if I was traveling. I was like, if I say never again, I tried that so many times. That doesn't work. So if I give, so it's kind of a moderation rule. So
Yeah.
it was quite stop drinking. It was moderating. So I did that. I only drank in airports for 2.5 years and it worked tremendously. I did girls trips, alcohol free, weddings,
Wow.
day-to-day life. I just never drank unless I was in an airport or an airplane.
Is that because of, like, flying anxiety and just, like, anxious feelings? Is that why you did it, or why airports
The main thing
specifically?
was that I really needed one out that I could still drink because otherwise I couldn't stop. If I
Got
would
it.
say never,
Oof.
that was just too much for me. So I
Yeah.
was always like, I didn't drink for like 8 months during COVID without a problem. I was like, after the or whenever we can travel again, I go completely wild in the airport. I was always hammered in the airplane, always.
Yeah.
But it was because to have the one out, but it was also because I was diagnosed with MS, multiple sclerosis, back in 2013, I think.
Yeah.
And the worst thing for MS to progress is smoking. But I would
Okay.
always smoke when I was drinking.
Yeah.
So in an airplane, you can't smoke. So
Got it. Okay.
that was another reasoning. Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, one time I was flying quite a lot back and forth between Spain and Amsterdam because I still have family and friends in Amsterdam. And it's only 2.5 hour flight. So I did that every 3, 4 months, I think. And then one day I flew back from Amsterdam to Malta. I went to my champagne bar at the airport in Amsterdam because I would always drink Tettinger there. They had a Tettinger bar. Champagne is that was my big
Yeah.
vice, I think you call it. But I was walking there and I was like, ugh, I don't want this anymore. I'm going drunk in an airplane. I land with a hangover, more or less. It was horrendous. So I didn't feel like it. I did not have my champagne. And I went to the Starbucks instead. And I never drank again.
Whoa, that's
Just got out of my
amazing.
system. And I
Yes.
still can remember the last time I did drink. That was the flight there. It's the same trip, obviously. I didn't want to. I had the feeling that morning in Spain when I was going to the airport to fly to Amsterdam. I had the feeling I don't want to drink at this time at the airport. I think I'm getting there to the point that I don't need this anymore. Then I went there and I run into 2 or 3 amazing, good old friends. Well, they were husbands of my besties. We all had this big group of friends in Amsterdam back in the when I was living there. I was like, oh fuck this. I need bubbles. And they were super hangover. They had coffee,
Yeah.
but I was like, no, we need to celebrate running into each other. So I
Yeah.
had kava and then they needed to go on another flight. And I was like, oh, I have 10 minutes left. I can have one more little bottle of kava before I go on the airplane.
Yeah.
Got in the queue at the bar and the gate was right there, so I could see they were starting to board already. But I was like, I'm not gonna miss out on this. So I waited in queue, and then I finally got it, one of those little bottles. But then I didn't have time to drink it because I had to board. So I poured it into. I had like this big bottle of fresh orange juice that I bought as well to
Yeah.
make me self healthy. Poured it in there,
Yeah.
smuggled it on board because you're not allowed to bring your own alcohol, right? So I had like this ginormous mimosa. Then I was sitting on the first row and it was empty, and I was like, yes, I can drink in peace and enjoy my mimosa. And then next to me, well, the chair next to me stayed empty, but the one in the aisle, an off-duty pilot sat down, and I was like, no, can he all my drinks? So anyway,
Yeah.
I drank the mimosa, but really kind of embarrassed and sneaky. That was my last ever drink.
Wow.
Yes, it
Yeah.
was bizarre. Yeah, it
Uh,
was quite the last drink.
yeah, that
Anyway,
is. Yes.
the last day, that was the last day I drank. So I am 16th of November 2021 is when I stopped drinking completely.
Congratulations. So you're gonna be 10 years then this September? Is
No,
that right?
20.
Wait,
Oh,
wait, wait.
no. No, 21. I stopped.
21. Sorry, my bad. So almost 5 years.
Almost 5 years.
So you're
Yeah.
almost 5 years. That's incredible. And I have to be honest, like a lot of us try to do that, those rules, right? Like, hey, we're
Yeah.
only drinking on Saturday, or I'm drinking wine instead of beer. And you did this thing where
Or
I'm only
water after
drinking.
every drink.
Yeah, and traveling. And a lot of the times, like if I was on a flight on a girls' trip, I'd be like, oh, well, like F it. I'm just gonna go and have like drinks this whole weekend and restart over. But you never did that. Like you were able to stay in the kind of those rules that you gave yourself, and then it ended up shifting you to fully alcohol free. Once at one point you're like, I'm good. Like after, you sat next to that captain, it felt a little awkward, right? But that is really, really like that's just a super interesting story just about how you try,
That's
you kind
quite
of put that
different,
rule.
isn't it? The whole airplane thing, yes. But yeah, for me
Yeah.
it works. I mean, everybody should
Right.
do what makes them stop, you know? How long have
Yeah.
you alcohol free?
Over 3.5 years. So I'll be 4 years in July. So July
Oh,
5th, 2022. So it was like I finally just, I've tried multiple times too, so many
okay.
times. And then I just woke up the day after the 4th of July, which, is a huge American holiday here, and just drinking for days. We have a little beach house. And
Oh,
like, I was never a daily drinker. I was a big binge drinker, like, but I
same.
loved it. Like,
Same.
I would drink, like, and I was a beer drinker. So I'd be 10 beers. Like, I had 10 Coors Lights. Like, I was good. And I never got like, I mean, I've had moments of like blackouts and stuff, but never like too crazy or anything like that. But I just woke up and I felt so shitty and I was like, this can't happen. And I just turned 40 that year and I was just really starting to question like my health, and it just that inner feeling of like this is off, like something's wrong. And I found the sober Instagram too. And when you said like I'm not alone. Like,
Yeah.
oh shit, there's like other women that feel this way. Like, I thought there was something wrong with me. And it's like, no, there's so many of us,
Oh, man.
and we all have different stories and experiences, and what works for, me won't work for you. And we all, but the cool thing is we're all like, we're
We're
here now together,
yeah,
and it's so
yeah,
freaking cool. But
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy. Sometimes I think like it's almost well, I guess it's not harder, but it's different. But really hard to stop drinking if you're a gray area drinker. If you
Yeah.
didn't have a rock bottom or anything, it's just like
Yeah.
because you keep thinking like, am I bad enough to stop?
Yes.
I mean, you don't need a reason to stop. You can stop for whatever reason. You don't need to, but I
Yeah.
was thinking, what is life without alcohol? It's so boring. I
Yeah.
really thought that for 30 years. Like, it's so boring. How can I stop drinking?
Same.
And now it's like, oh my God, it's just beautiful without alcohol. Everything is
I
different, but so good.
I know. Well, when you were talking about like, I think it was when you moved in that like kind of development and it was in Spain with like the other houses with the pool. That's like the dream for someone like me with like two kids. Like I want to live in this community and like where we
After
hang out at each
school.
other's houses and like the mommy wine culture. But like that to me would have been like, wow, like that's exactly what I want. And so I totally understand that too. And that's the hard thing. It's like, okay, I want to take a break, but like, how do I still fit in with this crowd or these friends and these groups? And how do I still like not be boring anymore? Cause I used to feel the same way. Like, I didn't want to hang out with some of my friends that didn't drink enough or didn't drink. After
I
a
know.
while, I was like, it's not worth my time
I know.
because,
My friends, I want to go for coffee. For coffee, that's so boring. No, I'll see you in the pub later, mate. But then when
right?
it was so
Yeah.
it was like karma. It was like so my friends that were still drinking, the same group that I'm talking about, we all moved eventually away from the organization to buy our own properties because that was all renting stuff. So
Okay.
everybody moved away from there at some point, thank God. Uh, and I saw them way less, and I kind of stepped away from that group, to be honest. But the thing
Oh,
is, I had more space for other people. Friendships are really interesting because, for instance, like I started to hang out with that group that I was talking about earlier less. I kind of stepped away from that because it was so focused on drinking. But I found time for other friendships. For instance, there was this mother of a friend from swimming, and we kind of knew each other, but not that well. And then she invited me for coffee, and I was like, yeah, why not? So I went for coffee, and then we really hit it off. So we went for walks and yoga, and we became like really good friends. So it's kind of, yeah. So friendships completely change, don't they?
yes, it's
Like,
yes, absolutely. I would say like, my a lot of my friendships now are so deep and so meaningful, and they're friends I've met in sobriety groups online. Because I joined a sobriety group, 3 months in with Jen Hurst from Lighthouse Sobriety, and
Oh,
after that I met so many incredible women, and then I have my own community now, and I just feel like it's just a beautiful thing, like, honestly, and I never, like, would imagine meeting, like, people online, like, and being friends with them, like, "What?" Like, "This is crazy." And so, it's just been so much better, and I feel like I'm finally and I don't know if you feel it, like, just showing up as my real self, like, I can be Jamie, and it's okay, like and it's like, I don't have to fake it or feel uncomfortable, like, I can just be me, and I feel like when I was drinking alcohol, I wasn't my real self, and so it's just has been just, like, incredibly life-changing for me,
yeah.
100%.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, you said that so well. It's so true. It's so nice to just be your natural self when you go to things now.
Yeah.
Community. Is it like online or local or what is it?
Yeah, I have an online community and it's called the Confidence Club. So we have an off social media. And so it's like there's an app and everything. And we do like daily check ins. And I run in my group, we have 3 weekly meetings.
Oh,
Just
wow.
just like on a Zoom essentially platform. I do like a monthly coaching because I'm a coach too. So I do like a monthly coaching and I do like coaching things like that throughout. But it's really, really
Very
cool.
cool.
And it's small. It's small but mighty. I just started it late last summer, but it's
Oh,
been
wow. Okay. Cool.
yeah, it's been really, really
That's
great.
going. Community builders,
I
huh?
know, but I definitely wanna connect with you and figure out how I can do more in-person events in Seattle because I think that's kind of the
Yes.
thing I'm missing too, and I wanna talk about Sobertopia. 1, I love the name because when we talk about being alcohol-free, like, it's so perfect for it, you know? But also, a lot of women are just and I have women because 'cause I'm in an online group, and a lot of women are like, "I don't have sober friends in, my hometown," and it can
Yeah.
feel really isolating, and I think community
Sure.
is, like, critical but
Yeah.
also like these in-person connections is what something that you are building in San Francisco. So I just want to hear
Yeah.
more about how it all started and all of that because it's so freaking cool. I love it. I love the idea of it. And yeah.
Yeah. Well, it started actually when I was back in Spain. I started during the COVID, I spent a lot of time on Instagram and making connections there and meeting so many
Yeah.
nice people. And I was so happy with that because those were my first sober connections and friends and community. But then I thought I really want to meet people in real life as well. So after COVID, I started doing retreats for women that don't drink alcohol. So I used to do them in Spain. I would rent a big house, a big villa with a pool and a private chef and a yoga teacher. And we would do all these fun activities once or twice a year, not 2 times a
Yeah.
year. Mostly, yes. I did that for a few years and that was amazing. I love doing those. Like it was really nice. But then I moved to the US. Well, I go too fast. Back to Spain. So I did those, but I couldn't really do a local community setup because it was kind of a small town where I lived. I lived in Marbella, San Pedro de Alcantara, that's near Marbella. There wasn't enough non-drinkers, I believe, to start something there.
Mhm.
So when I moved to San Francisco, I was so happy. I was like, yes, I'm in the city. I can finally start doing the thing that I always wanted to do, like trying to create a community for women that don't drink alcohol. So as soon as I got here in July, and then the February after, I started doing like weekly walks, just like a weekly walk, an hour. This beautiful city, right? So there's beautiful walks around San Francisco, and people started showing up. I was like putting it on Meetup and met all these ladies. It was really cool. And then every week became a bit much, so I did it every 2 weeks or every 3 weeks at some point. But then, and everybody that came to my walks, I invited for a WhatsApp group. So we had this WhatsApp group going, and it was really fun.
Oh,
But then after a while, I was doing Instagram, and I have a website, sobertopia.life. I had that and a WhatsApp group and the walks. I was like, I kind of wanted to do it in one space.
yeah.
So then I had a really inspiring talk with Joshua. Do you know him from the Ocean Beach Cafe?
Yes. I follow him on Instagram and I've heard
Yeah.
him on a couple of
Awesome.
podcasts. So
Yeah, he's
cool.
so cool. So we
Uh,
went for a coffee, or no, I was just there to buy something from his shop, and he was there, and he said, "Oh, I want to show you something." So we looked at some stuff on his laptop, started chatting, and then he kind of inspired me to do this. Actually, or I needed the last push because I was already thinking about it, but he was like, to do it was more concrete or something after that meetup. So yeah, I decided to do on Circle platform. So it's an online community on Circle for women that don't drink alcohol. But it's like worldwide. Anybody can join.
oh,
But on the side, there's two memberships, like one membership for online only. And then I have one membership for locals, and they pay a little bit more because in person meetups are included. So I do at least 3 a month in person meetups and 2 online meetups. So yeah, there's a lot going on. And I love it because now
Oh,
it's like you also can connect between the meetups and stuff. I don't know.
yeah.
We have online workshops and cool people doing yoga, and yeah, it's nice. I love it.
Oh my gosh, that is so amazing. And I want to tell you, when I met you in Orlando last month, you just came up and you said, introduced yourself, and you were just like a ray of sunshine. You're just so outgoing. And you immediately made me feel just like I knew you and very comfortable. Like you just have this like energy around you, which is like calming. And I feel like if I was earlier on, and was going to in-person meetup, you're really nervous at first, and I feel like
Yeah.
you just put people at ease naturally. I don't know if you've heard that, but, like, that's how I felt when I met you. I was like, "Oh, you
It's
just
so
made me
nice to
feel,
hear.
like, kinda
Yeah.
special and comfortable," which I think is really important for, a leader like you that's leading these groups, just to make
Thank
people
you. Oh my
feel
God, that's nice.
good. Yeah, and
Really nice
so
to hear. Yeah, it did feel very natural. I totally agree. Yes.
yeah,
So happy we can finally chat.
I
Does it
know.
weird that it's only last month though? It feels like so long ago,
I
Florida.
know. I keep saying that. I'm like, "Wait, it's February still, and we met in January." Like, like, where's the time go? I don't even know. I know.
Super
Oh.
crazy. Don't you
Oh.
love alcohol-free meetups though? That's when I keep telling people that stop drinking or that are just stop drinking.
Yeah.
Like, just go to that local meetup, even if you're nervous. Just everybody's nervous. Everybody's like
Yes.
uncomfortable. It's just like that's why I mainly do. I started doing coffee meetups. I just had one so far, but it wasn't very busy.
Yeah.
If people like to do something like walking or because that makes them more comfortable, you know what I mean? If you
Yeah.
sit somewhere and you just sit there, it's very awkward. It can feel, right? Well, if you walk,
Yeah.
you can walk away and chat with different people and like that, you know? But
Exactly.
yes, my ginormous tip to everybody, just go to anything that you can find. It's like
Yes. Oh, so, well, what are your tips? So, for people, obviously, if you're in San Francisco, please look up Sobertopia and meet up with Izzy. But if you're in a city where, like, what is your best tips on how to find like in person community? What do
Meetup
you
is a
think
really
about
good
that?
one.
Yeah.
Meetup.com. If you
Okay.
just type in you just do it by your city and you type in alcohol free, sober or sobriety. Alcohol free is a really good one. Then they all show up. And there's another platform as well that does that really well. Was it Eventbrite? I think it's Eventbrite. Just
Ev-
type in alcohol free
Eventbrite. Yes.
and the most amazing events come up. It's really cool. Obviously
Yeah.
ChatGPT, like
Right.
sober or alcohol-free events in San Francisco, and then you just get stuff that's interesting. But also go there because just realize that everybody is feeling probably half like uncomfortable, awkward. You know, it's just like
Yeah.
even I get nervous sometimes for
Yeah.
meetups and things. If I do something new or whatever, I'm like, oh, but
I do too.
just do it, you know, and you get
Yes.
so much out of it. So much.
It
Like what I really
is.
love to see is like there's people that came like to my walks like 2 years ago, one of the first ones, and then they meet somebody and then they hang out now all the time, the two of them themselves, you know, it's just like I love it when people find each other. And
Yeah.
the more people show up, the more choice you have, the bigger the chance that you click with someone, you know what I mean? And that's
Yeah.
just amazing. I love it when people find each other for friendships and everything. It's very
Me
special.
too. Yeah, I mean, it makes this whole thing worth it, right? Like, all of it.
Yes.
It's just in
So
that
much more
ripple
fun.
effect of how many people, like, you're impacting, just by doing this thing of just stop drinking a beverage. We're literally just not drinking a beverage anymore, and it really does just change everything for the
Yeah.
better.
Don't you find it really
Yeah,
hard to explain to people? Like people
yeah,
that still drink, right? And don't have a
yeah,
problem drinking or don't think they have a problem with drinking. They like, but what is changing? You just don't drink alcohol. What's the big deal? But it's such a big deal, isn't it? Your whole life changes. But it's really hard to explain sometimes. And people say, but what changed? What changes? Like,
yeah,
I don't know. I find it really hard to explain. I mean, I changed completely, I
yeah,
think. I'm way more confident, calmer, happier because my
yeah,
thing with alcohol was like, not that I'm always happy, I still have shit days, obviously, but
yeah,
I always had it with alcohol. Like, I had a huge hangover, right? I would be stupid. days. Then I would start to
Same.
feel better. Like, "Oh, okay, well, I'm good again." And then I always drunk only for happy moments. So,
Yeah.
like, weekends or going out. I was never a drinker that would drink her sorrows away or that I was depressed, I wanna drink. I would only drink those it was like, "Ah, fuck it, champagne, woohoo!"
Yeah.
But now, yeah, so I would do that and then wake up again depressed. So it was going like this, like, right? So I have the feeling
Yeah.
I would never grow at all. While
Yeah.
now I've been so stable in my not going like this and this and this with my
Yes.
depressed state. I don't even have it anymore. Well, it was interesting. I was sober for maybe or I was only drinking in airplanes at that time for like 2 years, I think. And
Yeah.
then I went to or was it later? Well, it doesn't matter. The timeline doesn't really matter here. But anyway, I went to New York for 5 weeks with my husband and daughter because my husband had a sabbatical. I did not have a job at that point, so we decided to go do that because I'm obsessed with New York and I was so
I love
excited.
New York. Oh,
So we went there, right? And normally I get this flutter in my heart when I go to New York because I'm just so obsessed. And it was my third or fourth time to New York. But we drove into New York and I didn't have that fluttery feeling. And I was kind of like downish. So the first 2, 3 weeks that I was there, I wasn't even like ecstatic like I normally am in
yeah.
New York because it's such an amazing city. So I was like, what the fuck is wrong with me? So and then it hit me. I probably like hormones, menopause, whatever. So when I got back, well, first of all, I Googled it and then it said take maca pills because I can't go to a doctor on holiday, obviously, in the
Uh,
States. It's crazy. So I just started Googling and I took some maca pill, which apparently is really good. Anyway, so that
yeah.
helped a little bit. And after like 3 weeks, I climbed up a little bit and my happiness came.
Yeah.
I went to the doctor when I got back to Spain, obviously, and checked my levels for hormones and stuff. And I was like in the midst of my menopause. So I
Uh,
realized menopause gave me my depression kind of back a little bit.
yeah.
So I got on HRT and now I'm fine again. My everything is leveled. But yeah, so alcohol makes me depressed. Menopause makes me depressed. So yeah, stay away from alcohol.
Yeah.
Go, in my case, HRT.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
yes, so I don't know. I find it hard to explain still
No.
the okay.
No, you did a good job, and, like, I've always struggled with depression too, just all my life, and, alcohol being a depressant, like, it just, like, added on to that, and also I'm, like I get very anxious, and I've always had a lot of, like, just anxious feelings and anxiety around me, and it was so much worse when I was drinking alcohol. It's just adding fuel to the fire, but I didn't realize that in the moment. I just thought it would be helping me, and so
Yeah,
now too and I definitely can feel those kind of highs and lows every once in a while too, and even like post drinking. But I'm finding it's because, I'm almost 44. I'm in perimenopause stage and like that this kind of stuff is normal. And I think the key is like more awareness around how we're feeling and being like something's off instead of just like numbing it. We're figuring out like what
yeah,
are
no,
the right things to
yeah,
do. Yes.
you're
Instead of
totally
just
aware of everything.
yeah, because it's before I just always felt kinda blah, like, all the time, and it's like, I
Yeah,
don't know, I just was never yeah, and so I just feel like, we have tools now to be able to deal with, like, life's changes and things like
yeah,
that, which is, like, really, really strong, but it's hard to explain when you're in it, especially for me and you, like, I started drinking too at, like, 15, so, like, it was all I knew, obviously different in America, because we do have, like, drinking laws, but I've, like, grew up around it, it was in my culture, just drinking culture. And so it's
yeah.
hard to change that, especially after like freaking 30 freaking years,
I know, you
like it's
just
a long time.
connect fun moments with alcohol, right? Every fun moment I ever had in my first
Yeah.
15th to my 35th, I think, every fun moment I had
Mhm.
was with alcohol. So you just think I can only have fun with alcohol and life without
Yes.
alcohol is not fun. That's
Yes.
so logical, isn't it?
I
But
know.
then it's like, yeah, so I'm so happy to show my daughter, who's now 16, almost
Eh.
17 next week,
Ah,
show her that she sees a happy mother in general, not always
yeah.
happy as said. I don't want to make rose colors, but
Yeah.
in generally a happy, stable, reliable mother
Yeah.
without drinking, and I have lots of fun. And my
Oh,
husband drinks, but normal, so
yeah.
she can make her own decisions. You know what I mean? But at least
Yeah.
he has another one role model that doesn't drink.
Right. Is she so proud of you, just what you're doing and with all these like yeah.
Yes, it's just really anti-drinking, and it's not my. I'm not saying anything to her like, "Oh, you can't drink" or whatever.
Yeah.
she's just not into it yet, or hopefully never. But yeah, so
Yeah.
far so good. We shall
Well, you're
see.
leading with an example. Like, you're like, she sees, like, what's possible without it, and, like, you don't need it, and, like, that is so huge, like,
Yeah,
so
it's good
cool.
to have people like Instagram. It's so great that so many people show their alcohol-free lives now in
Yeah,
public. You know what I mean? Like, there's so much
yeah,
more to look at than when
yeah,
we stopped drinking. In 2019, well, Instagram just started to become a little bit more.
yeah.
Now there's like so many good online
Oh,
Instagram accounts now, but back then there
yeah,
were a few.
yeah,
But love to make me inspired. So yeah, it's good. It's
yeah.
our words, isn't it? That's podcast. Another amazing one to spread words.
Yes, yes, and, like, I love podcasts because it's like a coach in your ear, just, like, inspires you, so, like, just, and I was huge into sober podcasts earlier on, like, not as much now, just because, like, it's not an issue for me anymore, and more just to educate myself, but, like, that was all I did, podcast after podcast, like,
Oh, of course.
my first, like, probably 6 months, it was nonstop, it was, like, my go-to, so it was huge for me. Yeah,
Yes, I'm more visual. I read books.
yeah, yeah,
Love. I literally have
yes.
to know if you can see them, but
I got
although
some of my favorites right here.
oh yeah, I have to literally all the Let Them, Atomic Habits, and Beyond Boost. Those three are on my to read pile.
Yes, I also have The Unexpected Joy of Being Sober is
Oh, my
so
favorite ever.
good. That was one of
Okay.
my favorite books, like, right on, I was like, "Woo," so those are kind of my ones I always like with coaching
Quit Like a
clients.
Woman was not my favorite.
Which one?
Quit Like a Woman was not my favorite.
Yeah, I wasn't either. That was actually, I think, the very first book I bought, and I don't know what it was about it.
Her tattoo. This is like a
Yeah.
teetotal tattoo. The
Yeah.
TT
Oh,
total.
cool.
This is from Holly Whitaker. I read an article just when I stopped drinking in 2019. I saw an article about her, written by her about this. It was like, oh, like spread the word, alcohol free, make it normal, normalizing
Yeah.
alcohol free life. That was,
Yeah.
but back then that was pretty like, wow, yes, so
Mhm.
true. So I had the tattoo, and then she came out with the book. I was like, oh, a book! I was so
Yeah.
excited, and it was so hyped up to be an amazing book. I was like, bit boring at the beginning. It was all a lot about feminism, which is great, but I'm not really like, I.
I'm the same.
It was all a
Yeah.
bit dry for me. But then the
Yeah.
only really good thing in there, I found a morning routine. That's so
I love
important.
them.
A good morning routine. That's
I
just
love
life
Love a
changing.
morning routine. Seriously, when my morning routine is on, I am on fire. Like, I wake up and I'm like, I feel like I'm just gonna take on the world, but then I do have smaller kids, so it's not always perfect, but you can tell a difference with the morning routine. It's just
Yes,
huge. Um,
for
but
sure.
yeah, I know. Well, it's been so great having you here, Izzy. Like, honestly, I'm having so much fun. I would love to let our listeners know where they can find you. And also, do you have any like super fun like retreats or cool events coming up we should know about?
I have. Well, you can find me on Instagram, Sobertopia. You can find me on my website, sobertopia.life,
Okay.
Life.
Okay.
And for the rest, I have a workshop coming up
Oh,
online, so accessible for anybody. I mean, you don't have to be in San Francisco for this. With the amazing Kristen Bear. Do you know her? She's creative
yes.
some writing. So she's gonna a workshop, a creative writing workshop. So if you're interested in that, just DM me or send me a message on Instagram and I tell you how to get into it. You have to be a member at HQ, but you can do a free trial for 2 weeks and then just, you know,
Awesome.
that's gonna be awesome.
Yay.
And for the rest, if you ever go to San Francisco, hit me up.
Mhm.
Anybody. And yes, go to those alcohol-free meetups.
Yes.
Is my biggest tip today.
Yes. I have one more question for you.
Yes, bring them
So
on.
you love bubbles. So what
Oh
is
yeah.
your number one non-alcoholic champagne?
I actually have like three really favorite
Okay.
ones.
What are they? I want to
Prima
hear.
Pavé,
Okay.
the Brut rosé, so good. Prima Pavé. I
Okay.
love Naughty. Naughty was the rosé was the first one the first good one I found back in 2019. That's when I stopped drinking, they came out with it. It was meant to be. It was like this is
Oh,
my new champagne.
it
Naughty.
was.
And then there's so many good ones. Bulle. It's a really good one. B-O
Okay.
with two dots on it, and then LLE. That's kind
Okay.
of a newer one. It's really good. Geronimo is also amazing. Yeah, sorry, I wrote an article. I have a page on my website with over
Okay.
50 non-alcoholic champagnes.
I'm going to put it in the show notes because I'm going to put everything about you in the show notes and then
Okay,
we'll
yeah, do
share it
that.
because that's
They're on my list.
amazing.
But I also
Yay.
do reviews on them on Instagram and stuff, the ones
Oh,
that I like.
cool.
Yeah, there's
Yay.
so many good ones nowadays. It's a godsend. I'm so happy
That's
with it.
so good to hear because so many
One more
people are
thing.
like,
Who's your
well, there's
favorite drink? Non-alcoholic?
I
What type of
well, so
beer?
honestly, I love NA beers. So for
Yeah,
me, I really love a Heineken Zero, which is funny because I never
oh,
liked Heineken. I also like Athletic, but I'm really into just like Fresca. Just I love a Fresca drink. It's
okay.
very refreshing.
Yeah.
I also like to do a Fresca with like cranberry like cocktail in it and just kind of do, some raspberries or something like that. But I'm pretty like, simple these days. I don't drink NAs as much unless I'm, like, going out to, like, an event or something
Yeah,
like
but same,
that
right?
or
Just because we never drunk at home. So why
yeah.
would we start doing that all of a sudden, right? Yeah, no.
Exactly. Yeah. But I love these recommendations because a lot of women, like, they're like, I don't really find anything I like," and so, if you can find, like, good alternatives that work for you, then it makes it just so much better, right, to
Sure.
enjoy, just replace the drink, keep the ritual.
Exactly. I forgot one really good bubble.
Yeah.
Woodies. It's also quite new. It's from California.
What is it?
Woodies, it's called.
Yes, Woody's
So
wine.
good.
They sent me samples, and
Oh,
I'm actually having a retreat on Whidbey Island, in May in Seattle, and they just emailed me this morning, and they're gonna send some bottles for it, so I'm super excited. So, Izzy, is there any last parting words before I let you go?
yes. You do not need a dramatic reason or a horrible thing happening to you to decide to stop drinking. It is so worth it. And if you ever think like, oh, could I have a problem? If you think that, you probably do. So go for it. Just try it. Give yourself like 100 days would be
Yes.
my tip.
Yes, you can 100% do this, and honestly, it's hard at first, but it is so freaking worth it, and
No worries.
so I completely agree with Izzy's advice. So thanks again, Izzy, for being on here. Again, everything for Izzy is in the show notes, and just remember, no matter what, you do not have to drink today. It will not make it better. Have an amazingly alcohol-free week, and we'll see you later.